Kingsman: The Secret Service was released in January 2015 and was an absolute breath of fresh air. There wasn't much known about the film. It was directed by Matthew Vaughn and written by Jane Goldman. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Matthew Vaughn. I like his films. You know, X-Men First Class is fantastic. Kick-Ass is another great film. I absolutely love Layer Cake. That is one of my favourite British gangster films of all time. And I thought it looked good, Kingsman, you know, but I didn't know how good it was. And I think a lot of people thought the same way. And, you know, not it was a breath of fresh air, not just for like British film, but for the spy genre as a whole. It's getting a little bit stale, even though like the James Bond franchise had just hit a high a couple of years earlier with Skyfall. It was like a fun film, what was like reminiscent of the 1960s Bond films, which is what it was aiming for. It's not so much a parody, it's more an homage to these films. It's celebrating the spy films that like Matthew Vaughn grew up with, which is the 1960s, 70s James Bond films, the Sean Connery, Roger Moore versions. And yeah, it's brilliant. And Colin Firth's fantastic. He's totally, he'd be the last person you'd think of casting in a role like this, but it works really well. Obviously, it's a story of a secret spy organisation called the Kingsman, and their front is a tailor shop on Savile Row, and you know, Colin Firth's character Harry Hart, or Agent Galahad, is recruiting the working class kid Eggsy, Gary Unwin I think he's called, Eggsy, to become a Kingsman. And you're following Eggsy's, you know, how he gets into the Kingsman, how he trains with him, and it's just a fun film. Taron Egerton, I think he's called. He's absolutely brilliant as Eggsy. I think it was his first film role ever, and yeah, he's just really, really good. Thought he was a brilliant actor in this, and yeah, he just suited the role. Michael Caine, he's in this. He's really good. Mark Strong, he's like a stalwart actor from like Matthew Vaughn, Guy Ritchie films, and yeah, he's brilliant as well as Merlin the Gadget Man. He's in the like sort of a Q role, and yeah, he's really good. All the actors are really good, to be honest. I like the training aspect, you know, the recruitment process that Eggsy and the posh kids go through, and the sort of like bullying and stuff that Eggsy gets because he's like working class and they're all upper class. And that's what the film's about, you know. It's all about class in British society as well, and it's a really funny film. Samuel L. Jackson, he plays the villain, and is brilliant as always. He's always brilliant in Sam Jackson, and yeah, it was just a breath of fresh air. It's interesting that Kingsman: The Secret Service came out in the same year as Spectre, and how lackluster, and you know, that film was. It wasn't the worst Daniel Craig James Bond film, but it wasn't the best either. It was pretty lackluster. You know, sluggish plot. Daniel Craig looked bored, and Kingsman compared to that, it was complete breath of fresh air. It was fun. It was funny. Everyone seemed to love what they were doing. And speaking of fun, the action sequences are absolutely fantastic. That's what took your breath away in a way. It was just like, it's sort of cartoonish in a way, is the violence, but it works. Especially this like, I don't know, is it like a 5-10 minute church scene where Harry Hart is just killing everyone in this, you know, this horrible kind of like a Westboro type church where everyone's like evil, and is like basically Valentine's device has turned everyone mad, and including Harry Hart, who just happens to be a well-trained killer, and he's killing everyone, and it's just a breathtaking, you know, an absolutely fantastic scene, and it's scored to, you know, Freebird, which is, you know, just brilliant, and you know, that's the standout moment. That's the scene what everyone remembers from this film, but the whole film, in you know, as a package, is fantastic. and I absolutely loved it. Kingsman, it's great. I hope they carry on. I hope it goes into a trilogy at least. Um, yeah, they're just fun films. You know, the colours are fantastic. It's very colourful as well, and you know, obviously it plays on British stereotypes. You know, the dapper gentleman, the gentleman spy, working on Savile Row, kind of like you know, the old James Bond films and the new ones. You know, where James Bond's always immaculately dressed and everything. So yeah, I absolutely love this film. I like Matthew Vaughn's films in general. You know, Stardust as well. That's another one. Um, Rumours that he might direct Man of Steel, which I hope does actually happen. Um, yeah, you know, like I said, I just love Matthew Vaughn films. He brings like a, I don't know, like a colourful palette. You know, he brings fun to films. And yeah, I love Kingsman: The Secret Service. So I'm gonna give this a rating of A plus. Let me know down below, guys. What is your verdict on Kingsman: The Secret Service? When did you first see it? Did the movie take you by surprise as well, like it did me? Um, Write in my comment section down below, guys. Let me know all your thoughts on the movie. Like and share my channel, and remember, stay heroic.